Hi there, it's Jason here, and I just want to show you a few amazing trade examples today using the latest and greatest LST system that Vladimir come out with. I just want to mainly show you how well it can find divergence to trade profitably. I've been checking this out now for about a week and a half, and on the 15-minute chart, it's working pretty damn well, I'll have to say. I first want to say that there's a lot of traders out there who've tried to master finding divergence in its true shape or form, before that you can actually get into the trade and make some money. You see, where a lot of traders don't see it until after it occurs, and there is a few indicators out there, similar like this, that draw divergence on your chart, just like this. But I found every other one I've ever seen to be useless, to be honest with you. It either wasn't the correct divergence, or they just painted every line all over the place, and that's the great thing about this LST thing, is that it doesn't seem to be doing that. I'm very, very impressed with this. Anyway, so I just want to show you all the winning trades that it's been picking in the last 2 days. Okay, so we'll look on Friday here. Okay, so here's Friday. Basically, this was Thursday here. Late Thursday, it gave a winning trade here also. Couple winning trades. Actually, it would have painted it right here, okay? Would have got you long right here, and there's 41 pips, okay? And then, at the end of the day, it came down rather quickly, but it had the divergence drawn. Even if you didn't get in up here, you would have got in somewhere down here, okay? There's another 37 pips, okay? And then, as the day progressed on in the Asia session, this is Asia session here, it found divergence again up here, okay? And divergence is basically going on an angle up in the charts and an angle down on the indicator. So anyway, you would have got short right in here, okay? Your stop would have been up here, about 15 pips. That gave you 42 pips to the bottom, okay? Then it found more divergence, okay, down here. Here's a bullish engulfing candle along with it. You would have got long right here on Friday, and that was good for 94 pips to the top, okay? And then, how it's Fridays end, they just pretty much go sideways. You don't want to trade at the end of the day on a Friday. However, then today, okay, it created divergence right in the Asia session, okay, right here. Got you long right here. Your stop would have been like 10 pips or something. And it ran up 30 pips to the top, okay? Not saying that you would have got all the 30 pips, but hey, you would have got a nice chunk of it. And then it drew divergence up here after this candle closed, okay? And you would have got short right here. And that was good for 37 pips, okay? And then again, in the US session, made a double bottom here, drew the divergence. You would have got long right after this bullish engulfing candle right here. And that was good for 20, about 20 pips or so. So count up the money, ladies and gentlemen. It's just like, pick the bottoms, pick the tops, win after win after win, buying here, selling here, buying here again. It's just picking. That's what divergence does when it presents itself. It gets you in near the bottom and in near the long, gets you in near the bottom long, and it gets you in near the top short. So, the pips can be made, and they can be racked up quite significantly. Anyway, I just want to say that, if you haven't picked up a copy of the LST yet, I urge you to do so, and not just because I'm saying so. Divergence is one of the best trading methods out there, and like I said, if you're one of those people that have a very, very hard time at spotting divergence. You know, and don't get me wrong, I myself, you know, it took me years to really find it on my own. And, you know, I was taught by one of the greats there, you know, Russ Horn. But anyway, you know, I can find it quite easily now myself. But at first, for years, I always found it after the fact. You know, I never found it when you're supposed to find it, you know, and you need to know, like down here, that you're going to get long. You need to know up here that you're going to get short. You know, you don't want to know about it somewhere down here to sell after you see it long afterwards, and you don't want to know to get long somewhere way up here because 3/4 of the move is already moved and it's already gone. So I just want to state again that this is the best divergent spotter indicator I have seen to date. I am not bullshitting you guys and ladies, okay? You need to pick up a copy of this. I'm telling you, the pips are going to pour in. Okay, thanks for listening, and you guys have a great day.